Hey, what's up, Fashion Police? The episode Tests just came out of Beware the Batman. It is the third episode in this CG series from Cartoon Network. By the way, this is brought to you by Primal Paper Comics. I produce Red Knight through Primal Paper Comics, and there's some fantastic comics being produced through this small publisher. You can check out this free Comic Book Day special just at the website, primalpapercomics.com. Now, the episode Tests from Beware the Batman. Now, this is, of course, the third episode of the series. Now, what we're doing in this one is, at the same time, Batman is kind of investigating Alfred's, I don't want to say candidate for replacing him, or a sidekick or something like that. But maybe that's what we can call her, as a potential sidekick. Anyway, Bruce is kind of testing the waters with her, at the same time not letting her know what she's auditioning for, basically. There is these, there's this new villain in town, and what he's doing is he's using these renegade alternative street artists. I can't remember their names. Let's just call them Bulk and Skull. Anyway, Bulk and Skull are really mad that no one respects them and respects their art, so they start tearing up a local museum, and Batman captures them and leaves them to the police, and Anarchy comes right afterwards and saves them and gives them better equipment and marching orders, like he wants them to do this attack and this attack. Essentially, what Anarchy is doing is he's using these guys to sort of create a distraction for Batman, kind of keeping him away from his big plot. Now, we have, I guess, a parallel storyline going on. Batman is testing Katana. At the same time, Anarchy's telling the artists, Bulk and Skull, that he's testing them, but he's really testing Batman. And it kind of goes in this vicious circle. Well, let me get going on. First off, what I like about the story. First off, I like all the stuff between Batman, Katana, and Alfred. I'm enjoying how the relationship between the three of them is building. What's interesting is that Alfred has this long-standing relationship with Alfred, known him all his life. Katana has also had a very personal relationship with Alfred since, he was there, with her family, and very close to him. And Katana and Batman don't know who each other, what they're doing and stuff like that. Although she's quickly figuring it out. By the end, it's pretty obvious that she's kind of figured out, what's going on with Batman, except no one has told each other yet. So I assume that's coming up in the fourth episode. Also, I do like the general plot and mind of Anarchy, and also enjoy Anarchy's costume. It's designed differently than his red and gold costume from the comic books. But I don't know, it works. It's a nice, simple design. And it keeps the Anarchy symbol on his chest. It looks pretty good. I'd say my biggest problem is we spend the longest time in the episode, I feel like, with Bulk and Skull. They eat up a lot of time, and they're not that interesting of villains. And I know they're supposed to be stupid idiots that are being a distraction for Batman, but I don't know. I don't really want to spend that much time with these characters. I mean, the first scene was fine, but when they go on and on and on, it's, they kind of make me miss Condiment Man, for God's sakes. So, Anarchy himself, now, I guess he's considered kind of a B-lister, C-lister in the Batman universe, which is too bad, because I think he's a fascinating character. He is, essentially what Alan Grant and Norm Brayfogle did was they took V from Vendetta and put him in the DC universe, a universe where, yeah, it has all these fantastic, crazy things going on, but the way it's set up politically and structurally is very similar to ours. So what happens when you take a guy like that and put him in a world that really doesn't necessarily need him? Because a lot of what V is all about is because he lives in such a Nazi-like world. The only option, well, maybe one of the only options, is to be, this radical kind of terrorist revolutionary. But he's kind of not that needed. He's essentially a little bit like a character that has Joker's political philosophies of anarchy and chaos, but he has more of Batman's morals. He's not an evil guy. He's never tried to kill what he considers innocent people. He often goes after people that he feels are causing destruction to society, either crooked politicians or crooked, rich people who are feeding off, society, and even polluters and stuff like that. He has an interesting philosophy and argument, but that's not really brought up in the episode. When he finally does have it out with Batman, he makes some basic platitudes about chaos and establishment, blah blah blah, which I don't know, is kind of just there. Now, granted, this is a kid's show, so I can't expect to really get in too deep into philosophies, but it wouldn't hurt. So I did like this episode for the most part. Actually, to be honest, what I liked from the episode had nothing to do with the main plot. The actions between Batman, Katana, and Alfred, I think, are really good, and I like how it's moving forward in the series. The main villain plot I found to be rather disappointing. So this episode, I would say, out of the three that's been aired so far, this is my least favorite out of the three. I still like the second episode, which I think is Secrets, I think it's called, with Magpie. I think that's still my favorite episode. With the Professor Pig episode, went close behind. They were really close. Also, before I get off, I should mention that I haven't really talked too much about the animation in this. I do like the character designs, and I think it's fairly well animated. The only time that this show looks kind of cheap is the driving sequences and the chasing sequences, where apparently Gotham has no extras. I know it's supposed to be at night and there's supposed to be less people in the streets, but wow, this city looks pretty frickin' empty for the most part, especially during these chase sequences and stuff like that. And that's been, to be fair, in all the episodes so far. That may be just the result of CG animation. I don't know. I wish they would kind of pick up on that. Like, oh, wait, hey, we don't have any people in the streets in these scenes, man. Oh, well, they probably won't notice. I think that's it. I do want to maybe mention the Wonder Woman short that's been airing. It's pretty awesome. And I don't know how long this short is supposed to be. They only show, like, -4 seconds of each part of it. So, and it ends abruptly each time, where I feel like, oh, did it cut off? Are we okay? Outside of that, I've been loving it. I love the 70s vibe to it. I love the animation style. It reminds me of the MTV show Liquid Television and all the kind of like styles they would do. Maybe that's kind of like, you can make that argument what the DC Nation shorts have been. DC Nation shorts have been really good. And it's very funny and very cool at the same time. And also giving Wonder Woman a invisible Camaro is sheer genius. It's very fun. I actually hope to sit down and just watch the whole short once it's all complete, if it hasn't been completed already. I'd love to watch it all at once, because it's a lot of fun. I think that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.